It's another Tuesday, so it's time to do what we do every Tuesday, and that's check in with my health and physical transformation. Let's get right into those numbers. First things first, let's go over those primary numbers that we love so much. Looks like I've gained 4.6 pounds. I believe that's mostly muscle because I had no change in my body fat percentage, and the other numbers support that hypothesis as well, with increases in my shoulders, chest, and hip measurements. It's good to see some of my work paying off, but I feel like it's just not enough. I've got a bit of a confession to make. I'm aware of why my progress has been stalled. It's simple. I haven't been putting in the work I need to accomplish this goal. I just haven't. I've changed my diet some, which has got me the progress that I do have, but I haven't been working on the working out half of this equation. For the past month or so, I've been saying I need to kick it into gear and make things happen. And believe me, every time I say that, I have every intention of doing it and making the changes that I need to make. And then something comes up or something goes wrong. Before I know it, I'm back at Monday preparing for another Tuesday video wondering what happened. I know what happened. I failed to listen to my own advice. Or at the very least, the advice I'd given myself and I thought to ask about it. I let too many things get in the way. I sacrificed my goals for a bit of temporary happiness. I took the easy way, or just plain let myself get distracted. Part of the problem is I didn't have a solid plan in place for what I was going to do. One of the best pieces of advice I was ever given was, when you're not sure what to do, just do the next right thing presented to you. If you do the right thing, chances are everything will turn out just fine. I'll admit it, I've been failing to follow this rule when it comes to achieving my goals. I made it simple to not do the next right thing in front of me by not putting the right thing in front of me. I put the right thing in a nice spot in the corner, where it would be safe, and I told it I'd get back to it sometime soon. Meanwhile, I've been letting chaos rule my life, and wondering why I'm not making the progress that I want to. Now don't get me wrong, I like a little bit of chaos every now and again. Without it, life wouldn't be quite as fun. But I no longer have the time for chaos. It is way past time to be doing the next right thing. I mean, just look at it over there in the corner. It's gotten dusty and things are starting to pile up in front of it and whatnot. So here's the plan. It's time to DAD up. That stands for Disciplined Accountability Documentation Utilization Program. If you're wondering, yes, I really wanted an acronym. And yes, I probably spent way too much time coming up with it. But it's a fun thing. And if I can stick to the plan, it'll work. Here's how. Disciplined. I'm going to focus on truly cultivating my discipline. And that means I'm going to do what I know I have to do, regardless of how hard or inconvenient it is. I'm going to find a way to make doing the next right thing the least painful option. It won't be the easiest option. No matter how many roadblocks I can think of to keep me from procrastinating and doing other things, doing absolutely nothing is always an option. I'm going to find ways to make doing nothing more and more uncomfortable, until doing what I'm supposed to be doing becomes the more attractive of the two options. Part of that is where you guys come in. Accountability. Part of how I'm wired is that I'm more likely to do something if someone has the expectation that I'll get it done. Unless you nag, then I'll do the opposite. It's a large part of why I announced that I was going to attempt to make the transformation in the first place, so that I'd have that social pressure to get it done. And it seems that social pressure just isn't enough to get it done. So now it's time to magnify it. If I end up not doing what I'm supposed to be doing to accomplish my goals, I will be accepting punishment from you guys. I know you rebels out there can be a creative bunch, and putting my fate in your hands is a little frightening. I do have one rule though. My fiancée gets veto power. She has to live with me, and with the consequences of what happens to me. So the chances of her letting me do something that's going to get me locked up or permanently damaged are sort of slim. Other than that, be as creative as you want to be. There's a good chance that she'll be behind the camera recording it and laughing in the background with the rest of you. Documentation. If you've watched my Creating Character series, you already know I'm big on documenting what you're doing. That way you can see your progress and how you're leveling up. So of course we're going to be doing that. But now you guys are going to have access to that, to see what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, so you can hold me accountable. I haven't decided the how, when, where, and how often I'm doing that, so suggestions are welcome. Utilization. This is going to be the catch-all for the by any means necessary approach that I'm going to be taking. Utilizing my fellow rebels to cheer me on or revel in my punishments. Utilizing my fiancé to help keep me out of trouble. And for the motivation to be the person that she deserves to be with. Utilizing my kids as motivation to get healthy and be around for them as long as possible. Or even picking them up and using them as extra weight for exercise. Utilizing everything around me in order to propel me towards my goals in any way I can think of. Program. Now what is my workout program going to be? Now this is going to be where the rubber ends up meeting the road. Now that we canceled the gym membership in order to save money, my options are limited. But I'm going to break it into two categories, cardio and strength. For the cardio portion, I'm going to keep up with my morning runs. If for whatever reason I can't run in the morning, I'll do it at night when my fiance gets home from work. As for strength training, I'm going to be doing the bodyweight exercises I laid out in the practical application creating character episode I did on strength. I'll be doing each of the exercises every day. I expect that doing the exercises will get easier as time goes on, so in order to make it a challenge and keep progressing, I'm going to increase the level of workout by 20% every week. So I'm doing 30 minutes of cardio every day this week. That means next week I'll be doing 36 minutes of cardio every day. I know that doesn't seem like much now, but in 5 weeks, I'll be doing over an hour of cardio a day. The same goes for my strength workout. If I'm doing 10 reps this week, I'm going to be doing 12 next week. The math majors in the audience are already figuring out what kind of a hell week I've made for myself the last week of this project. I'm not going to limit myself to doing the bare minimum every day, but I'm not going to force myself to increase those minimums if I have a string of good days in a row. The minimums are going to be set at what they're set at and increase from there. Though now that I think about it, adding an extra 5% of those minimums might be a good punishment idea. So that's my plan to dad up. I'm thinking it's going to work well, and if it needs to make adjustments because I'm not seeing the progress I need to make, then I'll make adjustments as we go. I'm kind of excited about this, and I'm almost tempted to skip a day just to see what kind of punishments you guys can come up with. Almost. Let me know what you think by answering the question of the day that's going to pop up behind me. Be sure to share this video and help it find a bigger audience. Don't forget to subscribe, click like, or otherwise follow me on social media so you don't miss out on what comes next. I've got a bunch of videos coming out this week. They'll be up as soon as I can make them. Stick with me, Rebels. We can do this. So that means, well, I did lose fat.